Welcome to Slash Bash, where today I am bringing you another Am I the Butthole Reddit video. In our first story, am I the butthole for refusing to stop having girls' night-ins just because my boyfriend thinks it's wrong? Hi, so I've been seeing this guy Will, who's a 27-year-old male, for months now. He's so sweet and funny and creative. Fun fact, he drives 2 cars that he adjusted fixed on his own. We don't live together, but we do meet at my place every weekend. Will called and asked what we will be doing on Friday, and I said I wanted to host a girls' night in since it was my turn. He asked what the heck was a girls' night in? I explained what a girls' night in is, and he got quiet, then asked if I was being serious. I became confused as he started talking about how outdated and so 1950s those events are, and said that I should stop promoting and advocating for those events as they are so toxic and flat out reek of misogyny. I was shocked by his long rant, but he said that was his honest opinion. I told him, regardless, I still plan to host the event. After that, he again tried to talk me out of it and suggested we go out together. He then suggested bringing his guy friends to join us and threw a fit after I refused, since this is not how girls' night in works. He called me sexist and misogynistic for having a girls' night in and making it so obvious instead of being ashamed of myself. He said that my mentality will cause me issues in the future, especially if I behave like that in a professional work setting. Let me tell you, I was blown away by how he got so worked up like that over me just missing my girls and wanting to spend time with them. We argued some more, and he hung up on me after I said I will not stop hosting or being part of girls' night-ins, no matter what he says about it. I tried to call and apologize for lashing out later, but he sent a text saying he was hurt by how I handled our small disagreement and needs time to process what he just found out about my personality. This hurt me, but my friendship and the bond I share with my girlfriends is huge, and I don't want to risk years of friendships by no longer being part of our bonding activities. Am I the butthole for making this my hill to die on, like he says? Now, I don't usually editorialize. I consider this to be hard news, and so I like to keep neutral and not take any political sides, but in this situation, I'll make an exception. I think that she is not the butthole for keeping girls' night, but she is the butthole for dating this guy. Am I the butthole for telling my soon-to-be mother-in-law that my engagement ring is cursed? I'm a 26-year-old female and I just got engaged. My soon-to-be mother-in-law is a nightmare. We are currently renovating a part of our place and she has been lent a key in the meantime because she keeps coming over uninvited under the guise of helping clean up, but she really just likes to snoop and interfere. I do a martial art and take my engagement ring off before class. I came home from an afternoon class one day and my engagement ring was not in the jewelry dish that I usually leave it in. I asked her about it and she told me that she'd taken it to a jeweler to get it cleaned. She looked super smug about it, and when I asked which jeweler, she pretended she couldn't remember. I didn't want to give her the satisfaction of having a reaction to it, so I just let it slide for a couple of days. A couple of days pass and I ask her about it again, and she's super vague, still pretending she can't remember which jeweler and saying she's too busy to go pick it up anytime soon. So I said, "Wow, I really feel for that jeweler. I hope nothing happens to her." She asked what I meant, and I told her that my superstitious Brazilian grandmother had performed some traditional ritual on it that's usually known to curse anyone who takes or handles the ring other than the owner. She looked uneasy and asked me a couple more questions about this ritual, and I made up some story about how my mother's ring had been taken by a burglar who was crushed by a pillar of cement on his way out of the house. I totally made this entire ritual up, and I do have a Brazilian grandmother, but obviously she did not do some ritual to my ring. The next day, my fiancé told me while I was out that she was there to clean up a bit. Lo and behold, I get home, she had already left, and find my ring where I had left it. It didn't look any cleaner than it had before, lol. A week later, I receive an abusive call from her saying she'd been in a minor car accident and she was blaming me and my witch doctor grandmother, saying she was now cursed for having touched it. I passed the phone to my fiancé, who tried to calm her down, but she was hysterical. When I told my fiancé what I had told her, he scolded me a bit, saying we both know how his mother is and I should have known she'd react in this sort of way. It's been another week since then. She refuses to talk to me and keeps slandering me to my fiancé. Overall, he sort of recognizes how ridiculous she's being, but the drama of the situation is making me wonder if the whole curse tale was taking it a bit too far. So, am I the butthole? Am I the butthole for refusing to stop accepting alimony from my ex-husband, even if it's putting a strain on his current relationship? My husband and I were married at 19 and officially divorced at 45, 5 years ago. The divorce was initiated by him after he decided his personal assistant would make a better partner than me. Before the divorce was finalized, I was given a lump sum payment and he was ordered to pay me several $1,000s a month every month for 26 years. He wants me to start giving the money back to please his fiancée, since she apparently sees it as him keeping a connection with his ex, and money that he should be spending on his future instead of his past. But it's court-ordered, so I don't understand the logic there. And honestly, I don't really want to. In fact, I already said I wasn't going to. And that is in part due to the fact that I'd like to give him another FU while I have the chance. Basically, it's just to spite him. And my sister says that I'm wrong for not moving on, since he's already paid me enough money in the last 5 years to retire on, not to mention the initial lump sum. Am I the butthole for walking out of a coworker's D&D game? I'm a 20-year-old female and I have been playing Dungeons & Dragons for a few years now with the same online group. We went on hiatus and I really missed playing, so I started looking for another group. My coworker, a 22-year-old male, heard about this and invited me to join a game he just started. It was in real life, which I really wanted to try because I hear it's so much better in real life than online, so I enthusiastically said yes. Well, I showed up to play and the vibes were immediately off. I was the only girl at the table and definitely the youngest. Everyone else was 22 to 26. They questioned my character choice, saying the group really needed a healer, but I had already chosen a different skill set. For anyone familiar with D&D or fantasy tropes in general, the single girl is always the healer, mother figure, which I wanted to avoid at all costs. After some debate, my coworker shut them down and let me play the character I wanted. I should have walked out right then, but I stuck around to play 2 sessions. They were hell. Every choice I made in character was ignored or questioned. The other players' characters flirted with and harassed my character in every interaction. They barely let me do anything in the game and fought over which character would be able to date mine. In the middle of the second session, one of them asked what my character's bra size was. I stood up and said, "Nope, not going to take this anymore. You guys have fun," and walked out. Ever since then, they've all been blowing up my phone saying I ruined their game, that I shouldn't have walked out like that. I've blocked most of them because the messages started getting insulting. However, my coworker hasn't really talked to me since, and I feel like I should have tried to resolve the issue in a different way, since I never told the group I was uncomfortable with character romance. Am I the butthole in this situation? This is John from /bash. Thanks for watching. If you've enjoyed the video, subscribe, like, share, all of that. See you in the next one.